This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to season 16, episode number 3533. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and my cock, Montgomery. And you are in the Men's Room. On tap today, it is the return of Who Sucks Less. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, the Men's Room Shot of the Day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted. All right, here we go. Pennsylvania woman who coughed all over the food in a grocery store will now enjoy a fun year in jail. Meanwhile, Connecticut residents realize that bears are stealing their Amazon packages and their mail. After $165,000 in damages, man learns to never light candles in a storage unit. Freighter carrier tells sailboat, get out of the way or you'll soon be hit. And a man who did a Nazi salute at a Michigan school meeting shockingly loses his job. And that is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, our very own Miles Montgomery plays golf every weekend without fail. As a result, he's got some skills, and if you ask him, he's hit a hole-in-one. Never been able to hole-in-one. Haven't been able to confirm either one of those. But in spite of all of this, it seems that I have more in common with 2-time major champion golfer Colin Morikawa than Miles does. How was that, you ask? Well, I'm glad you did. Simply our mutual infatuation with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. He admits that he eats Cinnamon Toast Crunch at least twice a day, 3 times a day, on a good day. However, he pours his milk in the bowl first. Then he adds the cereal so that his cereal doesn't get soggy. Not a bad idea, but I have to admit I'm not that anal about it. But look, we all have our own food things. We talked yesterday about Heidi Klum. She was defending her beloved fried spaghetti recipe. In a nutshell, she fries spaghetti, adds an egg, and then tops it off with ketchup. And look, that's not the worst or the weirdest food habit I've heard, but I don't love it. I'd rather eat that, however, than, say, peanut butter on scrambled eggs, or cold baked beans straight out of the can, or grasshoppers washed down with celery juice. That, believe it or not, was something Albert Einstein enjoyed from time to time. No thank you, Albert. Now, actually, we have a list of a bunch of weird food combos or creations that people swear they enjoy, and we'll share some of those coming up. But in the meantime, we want to hear your weirdness with your answer to today's question. So maybe it's what is eaten, maybe it's how it is eaten, but today we want to know, what is the weirdest thing you or someone else does with their food?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-421-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's, all things summer, all at the right price.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
Back to the conversation. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All the Charles, and away we go. Welcome to season 16, episode number 3533. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Stephen Throwhill, I don't know how you do it, but you come up with 3 stories every week that come up in the news, and they all suck.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to find them, but you do somehow. It's up to us to determine out of these 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, how are we looking on this week's edition of Who Sucks Less?
You know, sadly, it's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. Things you would think that normal adults would not do. I got news for you. We do it, and sadly, one of the stories I saw yesterday, I made the mistake of going into a Google search, and like I told Mike, I could not believe how many other people had done similar things to this thing that I was blown away about yesterday.
Coming up, the return of Who Sucks Less. Also today on the Men's Room Happy Hour, we leave these airwaves every Monday through Friday at 6 and jump right over to the Odyssey app for the Men's Room Happy Hour. Just download the Happy Hour for free. You can do that, and then once you do, search the Men's Room, and you'll see the Men's Room Happy Hour. Click on that bad boy, and at 6 o'clock, man, we go off these airwaves and onto the Odyssey app. Now, we will get to man versus man today, but a fun little nugget. We have some interesting outtakes. Some of our favorite outtakes, and we'll explain some of the things we do on our show, so to speak, where those origins come from. And then in the radio world, sometimes people get a little frustrated behind the microphone and have a hard time getting through copy or whatever it is. And we have a couple instances of some people that we admire. Have admired, some have passed on, just having a very difficult time.
And we've all been there. If you're in the radio, like we've all been there, and for some reason we find great entertainment to hear. I mean, like the icons, the legends of the industry, just effing up.
Just losing their mind.
And it's weird.
Because you're hearing a lot of F-bombs. You know, we can play them on the Men's Room Happy Hour.
Yeah.
I mean, typically we'd have to edit the living hell out of most of this stuff, but you need to hear it in its form. So we're going to play that.
You really do.
And download that Odyssey app if you don't. As they say on the promos in between the commercials, hundreds of new stations for you to check out.
Yeah, whatever.
All kinds
check
of
out
stuff.
ours.
And check out the Men's Room Happy Hour, Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock. All right, our question. We'll start with this story. Whether you are a golfer or not, maybe you've heard the name Colin Morikawa. He has come on the last couple of years, 2-time major champion. He's earned about $14 million on the PGA Tour. But he's still a 24-year-old, and he's got a love of sugary cereal. He likes all kinds of cereal.
Sure.
But for the most part, he has a big affection for Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So much so that he's taken his affection for the cereal to the next level thanks to TaylorMade. Now, TaylorMade is a company that does a lot of different golf clubs, golf accessories, shirts, and everything in between. But either way, he collaborated between TaylorMade and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And he basically came up with a line of driver wood and 5 wood covers. All right? So they all have Cinnamon Toast Crunch on the outside of the cover for the club. However, in the driver, there is a plastic top. And the plastic top is kind of like a collapsible bowl that you would use when you're camping, right? Kind of one of those things that kind of folds down into itself. And you can literally turn this thing inside out. And if you want to have a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch on the golf course, the top part of this head cover actually doubles as a bowl for cereal. That's how much he likes cereal. Now,
all right.
Have you seen anyone eating cereal on the golf course?
No.
Yeah, you know what? Well, now you can, Ted.
They're not just head covers.
But I don't think the cart girl has milk on there.
You can drive out of
the upper game.
You can use the driver head cover for a bowl of cereal.
Beers, sodas, waters.
Yeah.
You got milk.
He says, listen, as far as Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's normally one of my meals. When you fly back late on a Sunday night, wake up early Monday, you've got nothing in the fridge, and it's just something I crave. Cinnamon Toast Crunch just brings me back to my childhood. I'm still a child. I'm 24, but I enjoy eating cereal. It's nice to have, especially on an off week. You get back, you sleep in, you wake up, and you pour yourself a nice bowl of cereal. Now, here is where it gets a little bit different. He says, I'm a little insane for my friend's standpoint, because what I do is I like putting the milk in first. That might sound insane to 99.999% of the people out there, but hear me out. I like the milk first. You want to keep your cereal crispy. So you pour the milk, pour as much cereal as you need, and once it starts piling up, you know you've got a nice bowl of cereal there. Now, I don't know. I like more milk, and you get more milk that way. You can call me insane, but that's how I'm going to eat cereal like that for the rest of my life. I promise you. So the milk goes down, cereal goes on top. That way the cereal stays a little bit more crunchy, and he gets more milk. Traditionally, most people pour their cereal in a bowl first, then pour the milk on top.
Yeah. I mean, because in the end, most of the cereal is going to float to the top. I understand his position, but where he and I differ on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, once I pour a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's not in the bowl long enough to get soggy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really not. You'll get a few soggy bits, but it's still delicious.
Am I the weirdo? Like, I don't mind that it's soggy at the bottom.
I mean, it depends on the cereal, but yeah, generally, nah, it doesn't
That's
bother
part of
me.
eating cereal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not
I also
for him.
feel like if I put milk, I don't know, that guy seems crazy.
Well, also, the Cinnamon Toast milk is really good. That's why they have the creamer and everything else on the same tip, you know what I mean? That's a magical part of that bowl of cereal. Now, Ted, you're a big ESPN fan. You know Mel Kiper.
Sure.
He's the guy who does a lot of NFL draft takes. That's primarily what he does.
Mel Kiper basically invented the draft as we know it, and like caring about it.
Yeah, the fact that you care about the draft, that's Mel Kiper, for sure.
Well, during the most recent episode of the ESPN Daily Podcast, Kiper spoke to Pablo Torre about several topics.
That guy's awesome.
Including his strange eating habits. Kiper told Torre that he eats pumpkin pie as many times as I possibly can, and will even kick off his morning with pumpkin pie for breakfast. He doesn't eat pumpkin pie every day, only when he can find it, but that's only because it's not available all the time.
Yeah.
But anytime he can find pumpkin pie, that's pretty well what he has for breakfast in the morning.
Football season. Like, he's about to be in a good mood a lot, right?
Yeah, right, because you don't really see pumpkin pie past, January?
Yeah, basically after Christmas, I feel like it has disappeared, right?
And you know what? As far as desserts go, I know you typically put either some whipped cream or Cool Whip or, a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top. But pumpkin pie seems like one of those pies that it maybe is not the worst thing in the world for you to eat. I'm not sure about that. I know it's got sugar in it. I know the crust is,
I think in the world of pies, it's probably not. But generally speaking, I mean, it's a straight-up dessert, man.
I mean, look, it ain't pecan. But
no, it's not.
I would also venture to say Mel Kiper Jr. eats pumpkin pie as much as he can, but he strikes me as probably works out a bunch too.
That's not the weirdest thing. Torre then asked Kiper to reveal his pizza eating process, and it is something. Quote, I take the cheese off the pizza, and I eat the pizza with mashed potatoes. What? So mashed potatoes and pizza without cheese is what I do, he said. I think I'm healthy because I'm not eating the cheese, right? I don't eat the cheese. I just leave a little on there for the flavor. The cheese does give you the flavor. I do leave a little bit on. It's mostly just the sauce and the dough, and then I put the mashed potatoes on it, and that's how I eat my pizza. Mel Kiper. I don't know where in the hell you get pizza and mashed potatoes.
I don't know.
Not sure where that's offered, but either way.
I guess that's the other thing. He's got some specific stuff, but where are these potatoes coming from?
Is he married?
I don't know.
So I think I can guess is baby,
you don't have hair
I need you to hook me up.
I don't know. Does he strike you as the type of guy that's married? He could be married. He could have been married for 35, 40 years. We would never know.
Yeah, I don't know.
He does to me.
Yeah, okay.
He found a girl back in the day that liked that haircut, and he's stuck with it.
Right. And then you brought up the other day Heidi Klum. She was on The Tonight Show, and she was forced to defend her fried spaghetti recipe to Jimmy Fallon. Apparently, you fry already cooked spaghetti noodles, add an egg, and then top it off with ketchup. Heidi said, I love Italy so much, and when I was posting this, I was thinking they will never let me back into Italy ever again. But we fry spaghetti in Germany. This is something my mom always used to do. She said her husband, who is also from Germany, does it as well. Heidi would like you to know that when she first came to the United States, she thought that peanut butter and jelly sandwiches were kind of weird. So maybe she said you should have an open mind. Don't be dissing my fried spaghetti. Our question, what is the weirdest thing that you or someone else does with their food? 206-421-ROCK.
Mel Kiper update. I feel like we should have known this. Yes, he is married. She helps run his production company, and he's from Baltimore.
I knew he's from
Mel
Baltimore.
Kiper's from Baltimore.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, his alma mater is Essex Community College.
Wow. Listen.
Is that
I know
really,
most people here
is
don't.
that an alma mater?
I know most people here don't know this, but I wouldn't put that on my resume. Like if I grab picture the human body. All right. So Baltimore City, that's the human body. Where you make your poops, that's Essex. All right. So to go to the community college, I would not tell anyone that I was there.
You went to community college. Do community colleges, do they have a name, like a mascot?
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Like the Huskies. You know what I mean?
I did. Yeah, PG Community College, we just called it LSU because it was in Largo. So I don't remember them, but Montgomery College in Montgomery County, Maryland, their football team actually is really good. So they had a mascot and people would come to the games.
Okay. Community college.
Yeah, because you get a lot of JUCO guys that maybe don't have the grades.
Sure. So junior college institutions that have athletics. I guess that would be I can't the Fighting Huns of Essex. I can't think of anything. You know what I mean? What the hell did they have?
Mike, what was yours?
We were the Green River Gators.
The Gators.
The Gators. That's actually where the call letters of my college radio station came from. KGRG. Green River Gators.
I would have never known.
Is that from the Gators?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's a cool little rock station.
It is indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. What shift did you do?
I did, I had a news shift that was at 5:30, and then I ran the Sunday shift from 12 noon to 2.
All right. Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
What is the weirdest thing that you or someone else does with their food? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Danny. Welcome to the men's room.
What up, bitches?
Hola!
So the weird thing I do is I like my food cold. And I mean, not just the standard stuff like pizza, but I can grab a can of clam chowder and just throw some Tabasco in it and eat it with a spoon. And it kind of runs in my family. My sister and my brother kind of do it. And even some of my cousins on my dad's side, I don't like microwaves. I don't bother with heating it up. I think it makes it worse. I'll just eat whatever. Just give me it out of the can. I don't care.
Are you okay to eat a hot meal? So say we go to the restaurant, right? And, it's a steakhouse. Are you just going to order it as is? Or you're going to ask them to toss it in the chiller for me?
No. Yeah, I mean, I'll cook and I'll eat it that way. But once it's been heated up once, or if it just comes cold, that's just how it's going down.
Okay, I got you.
What about a pizza? Do you let it get cold before you eat it?
No. I'll eat that hot, but once it's been hot once, it's never getting heated back up again. And okay. I actually think it's almost better cold, but I'm not going to cool it down.
What are some of the other foods, from your opinion, that are better cold than hot? So one that I could, or pizza. A lot of people are on that road, but Chinese food.
Okay. Yeah, pasta. I'll even eat pho cold after it's cooled down.
Ooh.
Now, when you say,
I was going to say, look, I love cold pizza. I think Italian food's good.
Yeah,
but I don't know, chicken wings or meat, I generally heat back up.
I can eat cold chicken wings. I discovered that actually last summer. They were in the fridge overnight, ate, and I'm like, this is delicious.
Well, cold fried chicken is one of those things that people,
right.
prefer that sometimes better than when it's hot. Okay, now let me ask you this. Now, you said you eat it right out of a can. Now, aren't some of those cans that you need to mix with water?
I just get the stuff that's a little bit more expensive that's not condensed.
Okay.
The Progresso stuff.
Were you a latchkey kid?
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, that goes a long way as far as, because a lot of times your parents forbade you from heating things up, pre-microwave. They didn't want you to burn the house down, especially if you had gas or something.
That might be part of it, maybe.
Well, my buddy, his mom and his dad worked later shifts. They both worked at the hospital. That's where they met. And they worked the evening shifts. They worked from 2 o'clock until 10 or whatever, and depending whenever they would get home. So his mom would buy pot pies, TV dinners, microwavable dinners, all those things, frozen pizzas, you name it. And I thought, for whatever reason, this was the coolest life ever. Because he could go into the freezer and he could pick exactly what he wanted for dinner.
Because it was a meal. It wasn't a
I think
snack.
that's part of it because I eat so fast that when I would microwave things, I would just burn the hell out of my mouth. And so I think at some point I just decided, screw this. If I microwave this thing, this Hot Pocket lava is just going to take my taste buds off for a week.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just going to go with the cold food and call it a day.
How many siblings do you have?
2.
You have 2. Okay, because my experience, the people that I know where there were more kids in the house, they ate fast all the time. They ate faster than anyone else because they wanted either the first crack at seconds, or they were afraid. It was just almost like, it was like, feast or famine kind of thing. Like
maybe, but I even got cousins who do it. So there's something genetic here. We're genetically messed up somehow. I don't know.
So did it seem weird? So if you grow up that way, and pretty much like you said, the family's on board, eat the cold stuff. Like if you start dating someone or if you're married, like, is it something you point out or do you just wait for them to notice and wait for them to question you?
Oh, they think it's weird, but, I don't necessarily do it too much at home. It's just like if I need something for lunch, I might just go to the grocery store and grab a can of soup and, basically just drink it.
All right.
You know what I mean? I don't think if I'm at home, I'll make dinner for the family and whatnot. I worked in the kitchen for a while. I'm not averse to cooking. It's just, if it's just me, I'm just going to go, screw it. I'm not putting the effort in. I'm just going to get this down my throat and I'm going to get back to work or whatever,
Look, I'm with you. Chef Boyardee from 20 to almost 30, I would eat it, but I don't know that I ever heated it up.
Yeah, that's fair.
What about the little microwavable cups that came out with the 4 holes in the lid? You know what I mean? You just put it in the microwave for a couple minutes.
Well, I guess that one I would, but I'm just picturing it's 9 o'clock at night. Screw it, just rip it open and start eating it.
Because what, like you said, Miles, with something like Chef Boyardee, you didn't have to add anything.
No.
If you can just dump the can into a pot, then you can eat it cold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'd want to. I've done it.
Did you guys grow up on beans and weenies?
Yeah,
I bring this up to people.
They would get beans a lot, but we never got the weenies.
Basically, it's baked beans, and then you take 2 hot dogs, and you cut it up, and you put it in the pot with the beans, and then when the hot dogs start to plump in their little pieces, then you know you're good to go. That was a staple growing up where I lived.
Most people I knew got that. For whatever reason, my parents would never do it. They would always have beans. They would always have hot dogs. But if you said, hey, man, especially as kids, can you put the hot dogs in the beans? They looked at you like you're a freak. And I'm like, you realize, everyone else's house I go to, if they give you lunch and beans are involved, there are hot dogs in it. We are the only family that will not do it.
Now, one of the weirder things that I saw my buddy did, and it was actually good. I don't bust on him too much for it because after you try it, you're like, okay. We're poor as hell. We're 20 years old. We're living in an apartment. If we didn't have potatoes, we had potato flakes for mashed potatoes. So basically your standard instant mashed potato thing. He would make top.
That's what I grew up on.
He would make top ramen, and then he would take all the noodles out, but leave the broth in the pan.
All right.
Then he would use the broth to make his instant mashed potatoes because that flavored the potato flakes, and then he would put the noodles on the side.
You go with chicken or beef?
Whatever we had.
All right.
It didn't matter. He liked the way that the instant mashed potatoes tasted.
I think that's thinking, man.
Within the broth.
Because otherwise they taste like paste.
Then it was noodles on the side. So it was like carb load, trust me.
But that's what mashed potatoes are best with. Butter and salt.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so that broth would work.
Yeah. Because when you taste it, you're like, oh man, there's no denying that this is better than just the instant mashed potato flakes that you get.
When's the first time you had an actual mashed potatoes? As a kid growing up, I thought all mashed potatoes came from a box. And we went to some relative's house for Thanksgiving, and I've got a mouthful of actual mashed potatoes, and I was like, we cannot do this box thing. I didn't know.
No.
I had no idea.
We ate boxed ones, and then the Irish potatoes you get in the can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then on holidays, my mom would actually make potatoes.
But I do have an affinity.
Mike,
for them.
What are you going to say?
I can taste when they're boxed mashed potatoes. There is a chicken chain restaurant in Seattle. They do instant mashed potatoes. I don't think most people pick up on it, but I definitely know because I know that taste from growing up. It's unmistakable.
I don't think I've ever had mashed potatoes that came out of the box.
Really?
My mom always made straight up mashed potatoes.
Well, your mom loved you.
She did.
Yeah.
Make up for those birthday parties.
Yeah.
What is the weirdest thing you or someone else does with their food? 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's, all things summer, all at the right price.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
99.9 KISW. Yeah! You're in the men's room.
All right. Billionaires. They're kind of crazy. They've got some strange eating habits. They've got all the money in the world. Sir Richard Branson. $6 billion man. He is the high-powered CEO of Virgin Group and was even knighted at Buckingham Palace. His contributions to the world of music, entertainment, retail, and space exploration have led him to become a billionaire. But he does have some quirky, strange habits. His food intake is normal on most accounts, with some cereal and nuts being part of his breakfast. What catches most people off guard is Branson's strange addiction to tea. Now, how many cups of tea would you guess that Richard Branson has on a daily basis?
Sir Richard Branson?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll throw Sir in there and say double digits.
I would say 8 to 10 cups.
He drinks 20 cups of tea each day.
Jesus, man.
I'm not sure how I would survive without English breakfast tea. That's not quite what most people would expect. 20 cups of tea. Of tea. 20 cups of tea.
I mean, that's how he gets his caffeine.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Elon Musk, worth $176 billion. You know him as the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. Elon requires a strict diet to keep him healthy, active, and alert. No, that's not true. He typically skips out on having a healthy breakfast altogether and opts to eat a Mars chocolate bar in the morning instead. That's what he has for breakfast every morning, is a Mars chocolate bar.
And he has $186 billion.
Now, Warren Buffett. Now, I don't know if you've heard stories about Warren Buffett before, but he's got some very, very odd eating habits.
I know what he eats every morning.
And also the fact that he is very strangely frugal for a billionaire. It's not that, it's just the way he spends his money. So most of his choices are not the most healthy in the world. He often has ice cream for breakfast.
Jesus.
Shoestring French fries for lunch. He drinks at least 5 Coca-Colas per day. His unhealthy consumption continues from there. He's worth $93 billion. Buffett can eat anything his heart desires. His heart seems to desire McDonald's. Mm-hmm. CNBC reports he eats McDonald's for breakfast nearly every day. It is quite frugal with his spending when he's there. Reports indicate he never spends more than $3.17. He's quoted as saying, "I tell my wife, as I shave in the morning, I say either $2.61, $2.95, or $3.17. Then she puts that amount in the little cup right by my car keys. Each dollar value represents a food option on the McDonald's menu that he eats daily."
How old is this? He's like 70-something, almost 80, isn't he?
McDonald's for breakfast most of the time. Now we move on to Mark Zuckerberg. Now, he is a $104 billion man. You know him from Facebook, Instagram. Well, he went through a phase in 2011, during which time he would only eat the meat of animals he killed for himself. Now, he would feed that meat to his friends and guests as well. It was revealed that he had dined with CEO of Twitter, that'd be Jack Dorsey, who later reported that the goat that Zuckerberg had killed was served cold. So he decided to pass on the cold goat. Mm-hmm. Then you have Bill Gates.
You had to cook it first, right?
Yeah, you got to cook it first.
Just served cold. Bill Gates has a net worth of about $137 billion as of this report. With that kind of money, anything is possible. When it comes to his eating habits, Gates keeps things simple and quite unhealthy. He admits to being addicted to Diet Coke and drinks a beverage throughout the day. He's rarely spotted without a Diet Coke in his hand. He also has an obsession with cheeseburgers. At lunch meetings, absolutely, they always involve cheeseburgers. Bless you. Someone will always be sent over to get a bag of McDonald's or whatever.
I've heard that about him, yeah.
Hey, that's that. Cheeseburgers from McDonald's for lunch.
I'm down.
I have absolutely no problem with that. Then you have Steve Jobs, finally. Prior to his passing, Jobs was known to go to extremes when it came to his eating habits. Being the biggest name behind Apple and worth $10.2 billion at the time, his diet was a little bit strange. He was known to not eat at all. He would sometimes just eat 1 or 2 foods at a time for several weeks. And then he would dabble into the fruitarian lifestyle, so to speak. The Daily Meal reports that sometimes Jobs would fast, using the days of not eating to create feelings of euphoria and ecstasy. So our question, what is the weirdest thing that you or someone else does with their food? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Charles. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
We're doing good. Charles, how are you, man?
I'm doing well.
So, Charles, what is the weirdest thing that you or someone else does with their food?
So I got this from jail. Full disclosure. It was a spicy ramen combined with a spicy meat stick combined with a hot pickle, and then you put in as much peanut butter as you could.
Why did you add peanut? Like, I'm kind of tracking with the first 3. What did the peanut butter do to take this over the top?
It was kind of a base, a little salty. It just, I don't know, it just added to the experience.
Okay. Did you have to come up with weird food combinations when you were in jail to make things taste a little bit better?
Oh, constantly. I mean, you're dependent on what they offer through the store. So
you get a lot of advice from
to
other.
Make it palatable.
You get advice from other inmates. Like when you're in there, they're like, "Hey, bro, look, they got this, this, and this. Just trust me on this. Put them together, and it'll be good."
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that combination was directly as a result of other people.
Okay.
I also tried to create this kind of Islander influence, mainly through the peanut butter and the spicy pickle. It was, we got a little bit of pineapple in there when we were lucky.
Okay. Did they have some type of cafeteria where you could eat just like a normal meal?
No.
So it was just what you could get in that store.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got your daily meals, and you could pretty much rely on them. But they were nothing special, and sometimes you would utilize them in those, what we call spreads.
All right, let me ask you this. Now that you're not in jail, have you found that there's any combos that you discovered there that you still eat now?
The pickle and peanut butter I utilize all the time.
God. Pickles and peanut butter.
I try it, man.
Would you?
All right.
Yes, it's salty and sweet.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple of people that have chimed in with that.
If it's a sweet pickle. If it's a dill pickle, was it a dill pickle or a sweet pickle?
Spicy.
Spicy.
Usually.
Oh,
That's
spicy.
I meant the peanut butter was sweet. The pickle was salty.
Oh, gotcha.
My thing is, man, peanut butter is starting to turn into bacon, right? It seems like people are willing to use peanut butter and anything. And I'm a peanut butter fan. I'm a peanut butter apologist. But we have a guy here that says, look, I know it sounds weird, and rightfully so. But nothing beats a peanut butter and onion sandwich.
Peanut butter and banana, I've heard.
Peanut butter and banana makes sense.
Peanut butter, bacon, and banana, I've heard.
I've heard that. I'm not big on putting my with like peanut butter and stuff. You know what I mean?
Bacon is pretty good with peanut butter. That is a shocking revelation. If you've ever had it, man, it's just like it's real.
I would try it. I would try it.
I went to a place.
I want to try that Elvis sandwich.
They had deep fried bacon. All right. And then it was a peanut sauce dipping sauce.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever had peanut butter and bacon together. And I'm like, this is amazing.
I had it on a burger.
And I've heard that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Well, a bacon burger. But, isn't the Elvis sandwich, bacon, peanut butter, bananas on,
white bread?
Was it bacon too? I thought it was peanut butter and bacon, or peanut butter and bananas. I didn't know
peanut butter and bananas is pretty solid.
Maybe I'm making it worse and just adding bacon to it.
Well,
am I right? Yeah, that's what it was. Peanut butter, bananas, and bacon. That's your PBB.
And that's the man who died sitting on the toilet, yeah.
What's the weirdest thing that you or someone else does with their food? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Mac. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, Picholas.
Hola.
So, long story short, I just take a regular bag of plain old Lay's potato chips, man. Put some shredded cheese on top of it. Throw that sucker in the microwave. Comes out, and I like to dip it in mustard.
So these are like ghetto American nachos, right? That's basically what you've done.
What happens when you put potato chips in the microwave? Do they taste better heated? I mean, I've had fresh potato chips before. They're delicious, but they're right out of a deep fryer.
I mean, tomato on that one. It's just your preference.
Yeah,
You know what
I mean,
some people don't like it. I do.
Look, I'm with you. Me and a bunch of drunk friends in June made American nachos because we all got home from the bar. All we had was potato chips and a bunch of shredded cheese. I was like, all right, let's just make this.
Yeah, that actually sounds good. I don't know about the mustard part. Like, I like mustard. I don't know if I'd need that, but yeah, potato chips and cheese, man.
The only thing I would say is maybe go a kettle chip because it's a little thicker.
That's from I was thinking Ruffles.
Yeah. You know what?
10 out of 10 will recommend you just dipping the chips in the mustard without the cheese. Don't even heat them up. I would seriously try the chips with mustard. That is my favorite part.
No, dude, look, I'm with you. I'm a mustard apologist. Like, I put it on everything.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I'm just a condiment junkie.
All right, man. Actually, I just made a sandwich at home this morning. And my wife found it odd that I did not add any condiments. And I said, listen, thanks to the morning show, we have a fridge full of some of the best goddamn condiment, man.
Dietz and Watson, man.
Dietz and Watson.
Their sandwiches are great.
The zesty honey mustard. Yeah. That is what I squeezed on today. Dude, next level.
That's what I put on my turkey sandwich today.
That's what I was just using.
Is that the one you use? Yeah, dude, I can't get past. That stuff's going to be gone soon. We're talking about peanut butter and pickles, right? For whatever reason, they show up a lot. So somebody here says, my friend swears that peanut butter and mayo sandwiches on white bread is the bomb.
Okay. Again, I would try it, but I love mayonnaise.
I wouldn't expect to hate it, but I wouldn't expect to like it. And then somebody here says, my family puts dill pickles on tacos. I had no idea that this was weird. I told my friends about it in college.
That is weird.
That's that's a different one, man.
What is the weirdest thing that you or someone else does with their food? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Harold. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Okay, so as a kid, my mom always made way more food than we needed because you never knew how many. I had a younger brother and younger sister. We always had people coming over. So we always had leftovers. And she would take mashed potatoes and turn them into mashed potato pancakes, about half-inch thick, 3-4 inches across.
Oh, yeah.
Fry them in a frying pan.
Yeah. Those are fantastic.
I loved them. I haven't had them since the 70s, but I loved them then.
You haven't had them since, man, look, next Thanksgiving or whenever the next time you have mashed potatoes, just save some and hook yourself up. That's like one of my favorite things, man.
That's it's potato Lockies. There's different stuff that you can add to that to kind of spice it up a little bit. A lot of people have different recipes for it, but that's the basics of it.
But if you fry potatoes, so here's the thing, it's a potato. So anything that you put in a baked potato, anything you put in mashed potatoes, now it's a potato pancake. You want to put cheese on there, bacon, tomatoes, it doesn't matter.
There was one year when I was a kid, we went up to my aunt's, and she took that pumpkin pie filling, and she turned that into pancakes.
Oh, my God.
Pumpkin pancakes, my God.
Ooh, I bet that was.
They were fantastic, man.
Lockies are traditionally served either with a scoop of sour cream or like a dollop of applesauce. And that's, I mean, it doesn't sound like, why would you put applesauce on top of a fried potato? But I'm telling you, man, when you put that combination together, you're like, this is fantastic.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still just thinking, I've had potato Lockies. I'm thinking about these pumpkin pancakes.
Oh, man. Oh, dude, it's pancakes, like, they're standard pancakes that we all have.
Game changer, dude.
And then we were on the East Coast a couple of weeks ago, and my aunt cooks like my grandmother did. So it is very unhealthy, but it's very good. So my son's kind of indifferent to pancakes, but she's making breakfast, says, hey, do you want pancakes? His response was, sure, which means I'm just being nice. My guy, good enough. Anyway, I know what she's doing, right? She's got the skillet, and basically it's like eating a funnel cake. I mean, they are
crispy on the outside.
They are crunchy, they are thick, and I cannot explain how good these things are. So he had no idea what was coming, man. Brother about lost his mind to the point that we got Lito's Pizza that night. All right, she's like, I have ice cream in the freezer for dessert. He's like, I want more pancakes. Yeah. He had pancakes for dessert. He had them again in the morning. He doesn't want anyone to make pancakes now. I tried to recreate a recipe here. I can get closer. And he was kind about it, but he's like, still not.
No.
Yeah, I mean, he is ruined on pancakes now. If she doesn't make them, he does not want them.
I think one of my favorite things to do with you would never put mashed potatoes on a sandwich. But one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving is just that next meal that you're going to eat after the fact. So if there's Hawaiian rolls or whatever kind of rolls you've got, I always put a layer of mashed potatoes down. Then I put stuffing on there. Yep. And then I put turkey and cranberry sauce. Stick that bad boy in the microwave for like 40 seconds, man. And that is that is my favorite thing about Thanksgiving, other than the football and the regular food. I mean, like I look forward to that little slider so much, like 9 o'clock at night.
You know what I'd like to do just once? Like, look. Let's cook all the food for Thanksgiving on Wednesday night. And then Thursday, instead of this whole big-ass dinner with all the play, make the sandwich you're talking about. Because we're all going to eat it on Friday anyway. I think people will be happier. Like, listen, we got turkey, we got stuffing, we got curry, we got everything, all the trimmings. It's just between 2 Hawaiian rolls.
God, is it good.
Right? Hook up your sandwich.
I mean, I agree, but it's also tough because the meal itself is awesome. And putting gravy on everything.
Look, I'll heat up gravy for you. Right? You come up, we do it. It's like buffet style, right? Or like when you go to Subway and order your sub.
Yeah.
You start with your bread. Tell me the bread you want. Then it's like, you want mashed potatoes with that? Do you want green beans on that? Well, hook it up. Here's some gravy. I'm telling you that, to me, it'd be better. Because I enjoy that meal more than Thanksgiving meal itself. That's just, I don't know. It's just not exciting.
I do like, Miles, that you said, Hawaiian sweetbread little rolls or whatever you have.
Right.
I was like, that was awfully specific.
If you have potato rolls, sometimes those work out. As long as whatever rolls you had for dinner, just use those.
Yeah, use those.
For me, if I'm going to make that sandwich that night or specifically on that next Friday, right? There's always good college football games. I always get I forget the brand, but they have buttermilk white bread.
Oh.
Which I don't buy the rest of the year. But for the sandwich, right? That's what it's going
I'm into that, man.
Yeah.
I'd give it a try.
What's the weirdest thing that you or someone else does with their food? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Seth. Welcome to the men's room. Hello, Seth.
No Seth.
Goodbye, Seth. Hello, Chucky. Welcome to the men's room.
What's up, bitches?
Hola.
So, I'm from the islands, and back in the islands, we don't buy our poultry or meat like chicken and goats and ducks from the store. We usually farm raise them in the backyard. So now, since I live in America, I butcher my own chicken and poultry in my backyard. But I don't live in a farm. I live in a regular neighborhood.
I was going to ask, what do the neighbors think when you're out there hooking it up?
Our neighbors one. So our neighbor, they have some, but they use it for eggs and stuff.
Hello.
You there?
Ow. Oh, man.
I was going to ask him. Yeah. How much different is the chicken without all the steroids and all the things that they pump into them? Because I've had chicken one time in Jamaica the chicken was probably maybe 2 pounds. You know what I'm saying? They're just a regular chicken is not a big bird if you don't feed it all that crap. And I mean, the way the chicken tastes, it did not, this tastes like chicken. It was chicken that didn't really taste like chicken, or what I thought that I knew chicken tasted like.
Sure.
It was it was a little bit gamier. It was delicious, but it did not taste like chicken. I mean, it was a little bit more greasy. It was more like duck, so to speak.
Okay.
It was more tender. I don't know. It was fantastic. I was just like, I've never had chicken that tasted like this before.
But it's weird, man. Like when we went to Europe, and specifically in Italy, I don't normally eat vegetables, right? But you can't order anything there that does not have vegetables. And it's trying to be decent. They weren't bad. It was coming from me. And so, but when you talk to the guys that cook there, they said, look, in the States, because your country is so geographically large, they're like everything's frozen, or they use all the steroids, and they use all this crap because you have to be able to ship it, and most of the stuff does not stay good. And this guy's like, I get up every morning, drive 15 miles, there's a farm. I pick the crap up, and then they also explain the soil, specifically in Italy, that area. It's all that volcanic ash and all that. And he says all of that has an impact on the taste. So he said, look, if Italy were the size of the U.S., we would have to do what you guys do, right? Process everything just to get it there in time before it spoils. He goes, that's the difference. He's like, anyone can make this stuff if you have fresh ingredients. I'm like, yeah, we don't have that. That's not something we do.
What is the weirdest thing that you or someone else does with their food? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Doc. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, hola.
Hola.
How you guys doing today?
We're doing good, Doc. How are you, man?
I'm as fine as frog's hair split 3 ways, brother.
Nice.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Right, I know you were.
I got to stop using that saying. I didn't realize everybody was using it.
Everybody's saying that.
But you can add to it and say, man, that's so fine I can part it with a comb.
Okay.
So, anyway, I'm calling because Ted said something about Elvis's peanut butter and banana sandwich with bacon. That wasn't it. It was peanut butter and banana, but it was a fried sandwich.
Oh, that's right.
Oh. Yeah. So like a grilled cheese.
And, right. And so mine, it's a southern thing because I did peanut butter and banana, but I would add mayonnaise because it would add texture to it, and it would make more out of your banana so you can make more sandwiches out of it.
So you didn't use the mayonnaise to toast it. Like I've heard people make grilled cheese sandwich instead of putting butter on the outside of the bread, they use mayonnaise. You actually put it on the inside of the sandwich.
I mixed it with the banana and peanut butter, smashed it all up, spread it on the bread. And good bread to use is potato bread because that adds some flavor to it.
Potato bread's delicious.
Can't go wrong with that.
Absolutely.
And you would eat that cold.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong with some fried bologna either.
Oh, that I agree with.
Fried
man.
bologna is top notch.
You know,
absolutely.
Look, if you Mike just looked at me and said, "I've never had." Like, if you don't like bologna, try fried bologna,
right.
Especially if you cut it thick. I mean, there's people in the South when they tailgate will just get like a whole big thing of bologna and put it on the grill and then just shave it off.
What is being from the South where there's no such thing as healthy food? What is the unhealthiest meal that you enjoy?
Oh man.
I mean, look, every time I go to the South,
I couldn't tell you. It would have to probably be something greasy or some spam.
Well, I think that's wrong.
We tore some spam up.
I think the right question is, did you ever eat anything that was technically healthy?
No.
Oh yes, because my grandma made me eat my veggies. So
there you go. Okay.
All right, fair enough. Yeah.
Damn grandmothers.
That's one thing. That's one thing that's really, really missing in an American Italian home is any kind of vegetable. It just doesn't exist.
I should have grown up that way.
It's always pasta based. Everything is. There's no maybe a side salad with oil and vinaigrette. That is it.
Well, see, I
rarely see that.
I grew up like Irish heritage, and our big thing is starchy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Peas, carrots, potatoes. Mm-hmm. Those were like the only vegetables that showed up.
That's why I like a pot pie. Yeah. What is the weirdest thing that you or someone else does with their food? 206-421-ROCK.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Start summer up by mixing things up with top paint and stain brands at Lowe's. Shop HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, Valspar, Cabot to find the perfect pop of color or classic shade you've been looking for. And don't forget to prep your deck for the season with reliable wood stain and sealer. Now's the perfect time to complete your paint or stain project. Lowe's, all things summer, all at the right price.